2000 hours from GRTS in Banjul with me, Fatoumata Sise, and coming up, Vice President Aja Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang joined security chiefs and ex-servicemen to mark Remembrance Day. And Gambia immigration authorities intercept a group of would-be migrants attempting to use Gambia as a transit route to the Canary Islands. And the aid agencies warn of a looming catastrophic food crisis in South Sudan. And the business community in border regions of Tanzania and Uganda calls for the elimination of trade barriers. These plus other stories will come up in just a moment. Stay tuned.
For days, Ahmad Sulaiman.
And the Vice President and the Minister for Women's Affairs, Aja Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang, Sunday presided over activities marking this year's Remembrance Day at a ceremony held in Banjul. And the event is organized by the Gambia Armed Forces in partnership with members of Gambia Legion. Suma Jadama reports.
It's a Remembrance Day to remember and honor the relentless efforts and sacrifice of living and fallen veterans of First and Second World Wars. The day was commemorated with a march past by members of the Gambia Armed Forces, Living War veterans, scouts, Girl Guides, amongst others. In a somber mood, the Vice President, followed by various security commanders, Lord Mayor of Banjul, a representative of diplomatic and consular corps, and others, took turns in laying down wreaths as an indication of remembering and renewing their respect to the fallen Gambian soldiers who have taken part in a peacekeeping exercise in Burma. A former war veteran, Jauru Suso, enjoined people to continuously pray for the soldiers who lost their lives while serving humanity. Meanwhile, officials of the British Embassy in the Gambia, in partnership with the government representative, veterans of the Burma War, members of the diplomatic and consular corps, and family members of fallen heroes, converged at the Commonwealth War Grave Cemetery in Fajara to observe a 2-minute silence to the fallen heroes of the First and Second World Wars. In her address, the British ambassador to the Gambia, Her Excellency Sharon Waddell, hailed West African troops who participated in the Burma War as the most respected and dedicated fighters to be remembered in every peacekeeping discussion.
2017 is a particularly poignant year as we mark 100 years since the Battle of Passchendaele, when the fields of Flanders witnessed one of the bloodiest episodes of the First World War. Soldiers from West Africa, from Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, and of course the Gambia, played a critical role in the Burma campaign. On a personal level, I have heard and read about this because my father-in-law, as a young 22-year-old Army intelligence officer, served alongside West African troops in Burma.
She challenged all and sundry to regularly offer them with prayers.
Came food, medical supplies.
Suma Jadama reporting for GRTS.
And several personnel of the Gambia Immigration Department have been promoted to various ranks, and the mass promotion was held at a colorful ceremony in Banjul. And Ibrahim Jallow tells us more.
A guard of honor for the Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Safilo Sise, who graced the event. 134 personnel of the Immigration Department were elevated to various ranks, ranging from assistant superintendents to commissioners of immigration. They were orderly called and decorated with their respective promotional ranks. It's not only a load on their shoulders, but a symbol of additional responsibility. The Director General of Immigration said the promotions were timely and worthy, citing the commitment of his personnel in the execution of their functions.
This timely promotion is a proof of GID's commitment to fulfill the security services reform objectives under the new government of the Gambia, as well as adjustments to the change of governance and administration.
Commissioner Usman Low, one of the promoted officers, said he and colleagues were aware of what it means to be promoted.
Whom much is given, much is expected. We are leaders. We are examples. We are not expected to do great work, but inspire others.
The ceremony was symbolic as families came to witness the upgrading of their loved ones. It was attended by security chiefs, including former Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces, retired General Usman Baji, among others. Ibrahima Jallo, GRTS News.
Meanwhile, more than 100 suspected illegal migrants have been picked up by security agents following their attempt to use Gambian territory as a transit point to the Canary Islands. And the mainly Senegalese migrants have been handed over to the officials of the Senegalese High Commission in Banjul, and Seydou Camara reports.
Of Tuba Colon in the Northern region. Few days later, another batch of will-be illegal migrants were intercepted on Gambia territory.
As you may already know, just on Friday, our officers have intercepted a group of young people trying to embark on a journey to the Canary Islands. This came on the heels of an intelligence signal that we received that a group of young people are planning to embark on illegal journey to the Canary Islands, and they intend to use the Gambian coast. Our officers work on this information until Friday night, when our officers intercepted 50 people in a place called Tuba Colon. This is a point where they have planned to assemble to board a small boat. So it was this small boat that is going to carry them to the bigger boat, which was stationed somewhere in the deep sea at a place called Bopijere.
The suspected migrants were caught on board a lorry which, according to authorities, was used to transport them to their various destinations, which include a planned journey to the Canary Island.
We were able to confirm that 45 of them were Senegalese, and 5 of them were Gambian nationalists. Based on this, we have informed the Senegalese authorities in Banjul, and they came together with immigration officials to the migration center here in Tanje. We interacted with these people, and they too confirmed their nationality. On a separate development, just last night, that is on the 11th of November, barely 48 hours from the previous incident, we have intercepted another group who are equally trying to use our source to leave for the Canary Islands.
The main suspect behind the planned trafficking of these young people was also picked up by the security agents. The young men, who have now been handed over to Senegalese authorities, said they are embarked on their failed journey in search of greener pastures.
Total number of over 100 people are involved. But what they are doing is when they come from Senegal, he's having a Gambian number, for mobile phone number. When they come into the Gambia, they call him and he will direct them to which base they are going. Because he have tried as much as possible to avoid, parking all of them together, which can easily raise suspicion. So he have tried to avoid, suspicion. So when they come, he has been sending them to, different groups. Some he send them to Bakau, some he send them to Jabang, some, he send them to Tanje.
It is one major breakthrough for Gambia authorities, who have stepped up their fight against illegal migration.
I'm just going to renew my call for vigilance and collaboration, especially with the coastal communities, because most of the times it is the coast that these people use, and the security officers cannot do it all alone. So we call for a very close collaboration with the communities to be vigilant and help us, because we are in service for humanity. What we are doing, we are not trying to stop people to look for greener pasture. It will be our desire to see our brothers in the Gambia, in the Senegambia, to live a very decent life, to have a greener pasture. We are not against people moving out.
This ceremony ended here in Tanje, with the Senegalese national handed over to authorities from the Senegalese High Commission ahead of their return to their homeland. Seydou Camara, GRTS News.
And elsewhere, a total of 31 young men and women have completed skills training at the Gambia Home Economics Teachers Association Skills Center in Joshua. And the graduates, who were trained in various areas such as catering and tailoring, and are poised to enter the job market. As Tuketa picks up the rest of the story.
They represent the latest graduating class from the Gambia Home Economics Teachers Association Skills Center. The 2-year training took these 31 interns through a rigorous training in home economics, tailoring, as well as expose them to other entrepreneurial skills that will ignite their productive skills.
Here today we have about 31 people graduating from this center. I want to assure you that this is just the beginning. We are not going to rest until this center becomes a very vibrant center in which everybody who wants to come and get trained for every kind of skill will get trained in this center.
One of my sole responsibilities is to make sure that skill training in this center is taught effectively and students go out with a skill that they would use for the rest of their lives.
The graduating class was urged to uphold the key values of life, aside from the knowledge and skills they have acquired. It was an exciting and thought-provoking graduation ceremony, characterized with drama and singing, with students each certified as they bid farewell to the school. Now that they have been trained and are now ready to ply their trade, securing jobs in the competitive market remains a pressing issue for these young people. For GRTS News, I am Aissatou Keita.
And the Gambian pilgrims have expressed their delight at taking part in this year's Magal Tuba. An official ceremony was organized as part of activities marking the annual event, which attracted scores of pilgrims. Modu Bajan reports that the conclave brought together senior members of various Sufi and other Muslims alongside Senegalese and foreign government officials.
Years after the demise of the founder of Mouridism, Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba, in 1927, Magal Tuba, a Thanksgiving event, is yearly celebrated in honor of his life and teachings. At this year's event, Gambians and other nationals noted their grace for partaking in the Magal, a convergence particularly honoring the exile of Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba to Gabon in 1895.
As it is in Tuba, you have many nationalities, including not only the Gambia, who come to observe or perform this Islamic cultural thing, otherwise dubbed Magal. As we see people here queuing to go inside the resting place of Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba Hadimu Rasul, as well as some of his sons or other sheikhs. We will just ask them what they make of their participation in the 2017 Magal.
Serigne Touba mom amul tanke ginaaw dal tanke kanam rek la ba taxna dal ñuy dolle sant rek nan jërëjëf Serigne Touba.
These are some Gambians all the way from the country to witness the 2017 Magal here in Tuba. Binta Demba ite botanang Gambia minto.
Kombo sauti sate mi ka fay siko Magalo nata wala mabe ka duwa nyini ka banko la sumuya nyini ka maralla la nyato ta nyini ka Gambia ni Senegal la bakilim fakili ñoya nyini ñe moy Senegal Gambia lam Serigne Touba la molbe Gambia ala molbe Senegal.
Meanwhile, the 2017 Magal included an official ceremony which was globally attended by Muslim groups ranging from the Shiites of Iran to the Rohingya Muslims of Myanmar. Speaking at the ceremony, Senegalese Interior Minister Ali Ngouille Ndiaye highlighted the significance of the Magal. Aside from bringing together various Senegalese, foreign Muslims and administrative leaders, Ndiaye continued that the Magal equally generates more than 2,500 billion CFA, which is significant to the Senegalese and sub-regional economies. Serigne Bassirou Abdou Khadir Mbake, while speaking on behalf of the Khalifa General of Mourides, Sheikh Sidil Mukhtar Mbake, thanked all and sundry for gracing the event, adding that the founder of Mouridism, Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba, devoted all his life to a united world and Muslim Ummah in particular. His recognition did not leave out President Barrow's delegation, which included the representative of the Khalifa General of Mourides in the Gambia, Pape Demba Diop.
The Gambian leader sent delegation. The delegation was led by Mr. Dembo Bojang and Majamo Samusa, and also the Imam Ratif of Banjul, Imam Cherno Maska. The delegation was received by the Khalifa, Sheikh Sidil Mukhtar Mbake, and also the spokesman of the Murid community, Serigne Bass Abdul Khader Mbake. the Khalifa was very happy to see a delegation from the Gambia. Mr. Bojang delivered a good message from the President and also for the Gambian people.
What may be one or two key things in the message of President Barrow?
First of all, the President congratulated the Khalifa General for this great occasion, and also he asked prayers for the Gambian people, peace and stability in the Gambia, and peace and stability in the sub-region, and the well-being of all Muslims.
With the commemoration of the 123rd edition of Magal Tuba, many believe it is a sound platform to embrace humanity's coexistence through worship and tolerance, as oftentimes indicated in the teachings of Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba Hadim Rasul. Modu Bajan reporting for GRTS News.
And members of the Yoruba community in the Gambia have observed what they refer to as Odua Day, and Louis Mendy was there and he now reports.
Clothed in their traditional attires, Yoruba community in the Gambia on Friday portrayed themselves as custodians of tradition and culture in the celebration marking the Odua Day, a moment of reflection on their origin as a people. The Yoruba are an ethnic group of southwestern and north-central Nigeria, as well as southern and central Benin, whose origin could be traced as far as Mecca.
Yoruba community in the Gambia was founded more than 20 years ago, but few of them, or major ones, are to serve as a common forum through which the Yorubas in the Gambia can meet and discuss matters of common interest, and to serve as an avenue for social and cultural interactions among Yorubas and other nationalities.
The origin of the Yoruba, who often refer to themselves as Omo Odua or children of Odua, revolves around a man called Odudua, who became the first Oba, which means king or leader in the Yoruba language, at the Yoruba kingdom of Ife. Odudua in Yoruba means the oracle that created good behavior, hence the celebration of the Odua Day by the Yoruba community in the Gambia, partially meant to showcase their behavior in the Gambia in the promotion of culture and humanity.
In order not to forget our culture, we appeal to the leadership of the community to uphold Yoruba classes for our children, and I believe we are able people that will support this project.
Individually, Yoruba people in the Gambia could be found in the education sector, judiciary, and in other walks of life, each in his own way contributing to the sustainable socio-economic development of the country. The Yoruba said this is what makes them what they are, even in foreign land.
We are able to unite the Yorubas in the Gambia through this community. We are able to create a sense of belonging for ourselves and our families in the Gambia. And more so, we are able to provide scholarship awards for the Gambian needy.
The Night of Beauty and Awards to outstanding personalities promoting the ideals of the Yoruba tribe was also graced by the Nigerian ambassador to the Gambia, who registered his appreciation to the group for its continuous support to education, health, and orphanage homes in the Gambia, as demonstrated tonight.
First and foremost, their social corporate responsibility to Gambia, a country that has welcomed them, that has allowed them to thrive, irrespective of what the challenges, and they are giving back. I think it's something we should all copy, it's something we should all assist, it's something we should all buy in, because there's nothing as good as giving back.
Found mostly in the southwestern Nigeria, the Yoruba have developed a variety of different artistic forms, including pottery, weaving, beadwork, metalwork, and mask making. This one, called the Eyo, is a symbol of peace, and tonight, as the Yoruba celebrate the Ududua as the rallying point for all those who subscribe to the Yoruba identity, the Eyo was visibly seen praying for Iyalodi, a Yoruba word which translates head of the women. And indeed, Madam Fumi Ojo is the Iyalodi of the Yoruba community in the Gambia. Louis Mendy, GRTS.
And the Manding Association has held its first press briefing to inform the general public on the organization's activities. And members of the group said their objective is to promote the culture of peace and democracy. Saidu Kamara has more in this report.
The association is non-political and non-profit making. Members of the new organization said the initiative is meant to encourage individual and collective contribution to national development. Bent on improving social conditions via well-thought-out programs and intervention, the group is seemingly ready to complement government development efforts. Promoting the culture of peace, democracy and education among members and young people to fully participate in nation building is a key objective of the organization, according to its chief technical advisor Sambojang Conte.
Each region will identify 10 Manding elders in the region. Altogether, it will be a 70 Manding elders, because we realize that young people in Manding are losing track of their culture.
Assistant Technical Secretary Landon Sonko underlined that it is the obligation of all citizens to participate in the promotion and building of good governance.
So we all have to strive to take unilateral decisions to effect change and to improve our livelihood. So that being the case, is everybody's duty to contribute towards the advancement of this organization.
Lamin Dabo is the focal person for the organization based in the UK. He emphasized the need to understand history and country's foundation in order to save a sustainable future.
That's what I talk about, the cultural diversities. It should not be a threat. I mean, it should be encouraged. We are cultural diverse. If I respect myself as a Mandinka, and I love my culture, and I love myself as a culture, because I do things differently, when I see you or the Fula or the Aku doing things differently in their culture, I'm not going to just slag them or tell them words, because I know mine is done differently, and theirs is done differently, and that doesn't matter. It's all geared towards the national development.
The Manding Association is intent on running its own media platform, coming in a complete setup that includes a radio station, TV network, newspaper, and trust funds which can be used in helping the needy to access educational support and effectively complement government's development programs. Saidu Kamara, GRTS News.
And that takes us to our first break, but News and Sports is up next. Stay tuned.
On the whole house, you say
a new living room?
Alright. And if I tell you incredible prices,
we make over the bathroom.
So take the plunge into the water.
Whoa. Yes.
Take your comfort to another level. So do not miss the golden deal.
The prices?
In promotion. Batiman, quality guaranteed. The golden deal. The best deals of the year for the whole house with Batimat's quality.
Lubesa best. Lubesa best.
Nemoji for it.
Hey, Lubesa best. Lubesa best.
Nemoji for it.
Hey, ma waxati.
Ñëwal.
Aka sakal loolu.
Ñëwal.
Aka neex loolu.
Ñëwal.
Neex na ci pancake.
Ñëwal.
Neex na ci mburu.
Ñëwal.
Neex na ci tapala.
Ñëwal.
Tey moji fari.
Ñëwal.
Aka sakal loolu.
Ñëwal.
Lay lay la la.
Moji fariñ.
Xolal cas. Ma yëkkati.
Ba atan ken ko moji. Neex na ci pancake, neex ci mburu, moji fariñ. Ba ci tapala ba ci sempur
moji fariñ.
Réew mi jëndal leen ko. Fariñ bi dafa neex lool sa sakal lool.
Moji fariñ.
Moji bu mu jëndee ba tey bonut.
Moji fariñ. Moom la ñu taamu ta sakal lool. Moji fariñ. Aka neex. Jëndi leen ko.
Yéen ñu doon ut fariñ bu baax, fariñ bu sakkan. Demal tey ca Moustapha J Diallo and Sons ca 61 OAU Boulevard bi tey it nga teg sa téléphone call leen ci 4227 566 wala it 92 44 331 kon wala it nga dem ci seen makkaan ba nekk Pictin waa kër Moustapha J Diallo and Sons.
Welcome back, and let's take a look at some news in sports, where Football Federation Cup holders Hawks Football Club have beaten league champions Gambia Armed Forces to claim the first silverware of the new season. And MS Jallo reports the Super Cup marks the beginning of the country's new football season.
Hawks Football Club has added the Super Cup trophy to the FF Cup
after beating the Gambia Armed Forces in the Cotton Razor Super Cup final. The two sides met in the season's opener to kickstart the 2017-2018 GFF First Division League competition. The traditional Super Cup final, which is contested by the league winners and the FF Cup holders, is an opportunity to win the first silverware of the season. Both teams made a slow start to the game. Aside from a handful of good chances at both ends, the first half failed to produce anything special. The two sides look rusty at times in the game, apparently due to the long off-season break. Hawks appeared to have oiled their machines during the half-time break, as the Red Devils were by far the better team in the second period, dominating possession and creating series of good scoring chances, but their finishing was woeful in front of goal. With no goals in the 90 minutes, the tie was decided by a post-match penalty shootout. The Hawks players controlled their nerves to win by 4-3. Goalkeeper Adama Gassama made two brilliant saves to secure Hawks the Super Cup trophy.
It was a difficult half, but when we came into the second half, we could kill the game, even getting into penalties. And it's always good to capitalize on your chances and score. We wouldn't have get to the penalties, but otherwise, at least we have something to go home with and something to put in our box as well for the second cup in the past 2 years. So I'm so grateful for that.
Beating the reigning league champions will be a big morale booster for the Hawks players going into the new season.
We've set a standard that we have to keep it going, because setting a standard and fluctuating, that couldn't take a team anywhere. It shows you it's sign that it is a better team that could keep his standard to momentum, and I hope that continues, because we have tasks ahead. We have the league, we have the FA Cup, and we have the Confederation Cup. So we're working on all those three things.
Mohamed Jallo, GRTS Sports.